If you don't get anything else, Jehovah is not his name. Jehovah is his title. Whenever you see Jehovah in the Bible, that's not the name of our God, but that's a title of our God. There are names connected to Jehovah. Now, what do Jehovah mean? What do this title mean? Jehovah means self-existent. It also means immutable one. And it also means eternal creator. So when you hear folks saying Jehovah, that's not his name. There's only his title. And it's something to think about. There are 8 names that the Old Testament connects to Jehovah that we can use to get breakthrough or whatever situation we find ourselves in. I wanted to look at this here because this is 2008, and whenever you see 8 is always new beginning. 1 represents authority, and 2 is completion, 3 is Trinity, 4 is creation, 5 is grace, 6 is the number of man, 7 is perfection, 8 is new beginning. Are y'all with me? Proof of that can be found when you look at the days of a week. Sunday through Saturday, that's 7 days. But now when you get to 7, the 7th day, on the other side of the 7th day is a Sunday. Sunday is really the 8th day, but it is the first day of a new week because 8 represents new beginning. Even on your keyboard there, you can testify to this here, there are 7 notes, but whenever you get back to the 8th note, the 8th note always starts over because the 8th note is a new note. It's a new beginning. Y'all talk to me if you can. 8 is always new beginning. When God told Noah to build an ark, there were 8 souls saved. And he repopulated the world with 8 souls. He wanted to have a new beginning. Even when Jesus was talking to Nicodemus and said to him, you must be born again. It's something to think about. You'll find that born again appears 8 times in the New Testament because 8 represents new beginning. When you look at the individuals that Jesus resuscitated and brought back from the dead, but I found out there's a difference between a resuscitation and a resurrection. When it came to Lazarus and the widow named son and Jairus' daughter, it was not a resurrection. Because when you are resurrected, you don't die no more. The difference between a resuscitation and a resurrection, when Jesus was resurrected, how many of y'all know he died one time? Y'all ain't gonna talk to me. And he ain't gonna die no more. That's why when Gabriel blew that trumpet and the dead in Christ rise and we will be resurrected. You don't have to worry about 3 years later, 10 years later, gonna die no more. No one of those. So now what is the first name? The first name is Jehovah Elohim. Jehovah Elohim. Elohim means creator. You cannot have a book without an author. You cannot have a building without a builder. You cannot have a painting without an artist. And you cannot have a creation without a creator. So the first name is Jehovah Elohim. But then the second name is Jehovah Adonai. And Adonai means he's Jehovah, means he's sovereign. He is master. And when you're sovereign, that means you do what you want to do and you don't need nobody's permission to do whatever you want to do. To put it another way, you really ought not argue with God because God got power to cut the argument off anytime you get ready. Somebody catch that on your way home. Jireh. And Jireh means he's Jehovah our provider. This is seen what David said, the Lord is my shepherd. When he said the Lord is my shepherd, he was saying he is my Jireh. Because whatever I need, he will provide. Matter of fact, while you're on your knees praying, and you think you're telling God something, he already knows what you need. Talk to me before you even ask him for it. But then the fourth name rather, he's Jehovah Nissi. And Nissi means he's our banner. When you would go to war, you would carry your banner. And that was your flag. Your banner was your stripes. That represented what side you're on. That represented your company. Whether you know it or not, we are in a warfare. We're warring not against flesh and blood, but by spiritual wickedness in high places. And the good thing is, when we go to war against the devil already knows that it's a losing fight. Because the battle is not yours. It belongs to the Lord. And some of y'all can't sleep at night. Some of y'all be tossing and turning all night, worrying about what's going to happen and what's going to happen. Don't you know God got your future in his hand? And the devil can't do nothing to you unless he first get it approved by God. If you don't believe me, go talk to Job. He's Jehovah Nissi. But then he's a Jehovah Rapha. And this is the fifth name that you can call if you're sick, if you are under the weather, if you got cancer, if you got high blood pressure, if you know somebody need healing tonight, when you pray and